converting, off the top of your head, do you feel like you might have a formulation issue?
I'm sorry, what was that? A what connection?
Formulation,
I think because the
converting.
there's the same.
It's pretty. It's very, very
green
similar.
gold to
Okay.
violet.
Just remember, the pigment is very strong.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're used to, and what this is, what you see on that swatch, that it's there.
Most need to cut it with a neutral.
Because you have to kind of look at your client's hair. You may need to cut it with a natural a little bit. You know, just kind of look at it.
Yeah.
But
But the gold's gold.
If
and
I
the
get
red's red.
the text I get the most is that how do I tone this down?
Yeah.
And it's cut it with a natural. You know.
I have a question. Do you feel like with her hair, since you did that bright red, if you would have added a little bit of neutral, that would give it more staying power, or not really?
No, it just would have, on her hair, it would have made it muddy.
Right, but on most clients, would you say?
Oh yeah, if you want it to
Okay.
be more of a natural red, then yeah, you could.
Well, I just take sometimes with my real reds like that. I'll just put a little bit of neutral in there. I just feel like it helps it stay longer. And it fades
I
out
feel
better.
like on her hair or anyone's hair like it, to where it's so extremely processed, whether it's due from heat or just color applications, because there's a little bit of a track record there that, oh, it fades really easy, so therefore we keep putting color on it and color on it and color on it, you know, so it ends up getting over processed. If you put a natural, those ends are gonna just soak that natural up and it just becomes mud. So I wouldn't necessarily do that. I would just, I don't know, we could have went with a 466, but I'm glad we went with the 566, and I think it's going to stay in there pretty good. I'll be surprised if it doesn't, honest to God, but I think it's going to stay in there pretty good. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's see. No questions? You feel pretty good? You feel pretty good? Okay.
Say I work on it, just because
Yes.
I'm trying to get this part to be more violet, but like almost mahogany, but pop against this. Like if I were to sit in your chair, what would you think? Like
7.2.
7.2.
Right now,
is it light enough to take that? Because it's got, obviously.
you know what? Right now, I would use 7.2. But what are you naturally?
Like a 6.
You're a 6. Oh, I would use 7.2. So then, right now, I would put 7.2. 7.2.
What developer?
With 20 volume. Okay. But if you want this from your new growth on out, I would use 7.2 and 30 volume on your base, and then the last couple of minutes, pull it through. Yes. Yeah. Do you have
30
gray?
volume.
A little bit, not much.
But not
mainly
much.
like for here.
Okay. But yeah, it'd be stunning. I have, this is actually a 5.2. 5.2 on a level 6.
With 30 volume on hers?
With 20 volume, actually. Where's she at? Here it is. And I did diagonal foils.
Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my god.
What do you mean diagonal? Like this?
I do my foils
Oh,
on the
side.
round of the head. So when I do a partial, I come up this way, and then I come over this way.
Oh, when at the show,
Yes.
that Asian girl with the red.
Yes.
Can you show me that pattern? Because he kind of explained it, but I didn't.
Didn't he say
Yeah.
he went from like here to here? It was like 8 foils.
Yeah. What I did was it was
That
more
seems like it
than-
would be more
there's
than
you did it.
8
He's like, it was me. Let me tell you.
It was so what we did, we do temple to crown. Okay. The thing is though, you want to leave a little bit of a veil, like here in front.
Right.
Okay. So then you have a little veil, and then you start your first foil. And what that does, it creates maximum impact with very little work, okay? Because what ends up happening is then if you want to give them more of a fuller foil, if I have foils running, either temple to either crown, and then I come into the side, right? Are you with me?
You're pretty much covering everything.
I wish I had
Yeah.
my mannequin in the car, but you pretty much cover everything. So you basically just gave them a full foil with minimum work. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Did you slice it, weave it, or?
Actually, in the front, I sliced it because we wanted that punch of red. But then I did, like a 10% weave to like a 50% to an 80% is kind of what I did. So, kind of give like more. And then like the crown back here was basically almost all red. You know what I mean? Like the black started disappearing to where it was mostly red up here.
Was it really just 8 foils? Because it looked like it was more than that.
I think it was like 10.
Okay, but still close.
But still, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's
8
great.
to
That cuts
10.
your time down.
Uh-huh.
You should be able to do about 8 to 10 foils. So,
Can I follow
Do
your
a YouTube video.
do a YouTube video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that available?
So anyway, the violet that you can see, you get a really nice result.
Clarify it first, you think?
Okay.
Can. It's all up to you. What you want to do.
You can. I was trying to think if there's another one.
See how Carrie's hair, towards her root, it has that, I don't know if necessarily considered brassy, but when you say in Carrie you pull a lot of gold, what would you use at her root for her base?
That she pulls a lot of gold.
Very.
What are you using on her now?
What are you using?
Nothing. I use like 7 ash and 7N mix. That still pulls up brassy.
You're doing a 50-50? What percentage gray?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd still cut that down to like a third natural and 2/3 ash.
Okay.
And if you use the ash, I mean, obviously you're going to start using this color. It'll knock it right out.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about for my hair?
Your hair, straight
Yeah.
ash.
Straight ash. Which one?
Oh, probably. I would probably do 8-1. Because you said that fades out a little bit.
8-1 is probably too light for me.
No, it's really not though.
Next ashes,
On-
ashes go darker?
On white hair, this is going to come out more like a natural 7.
Are those?
Really?
'Cause that's
white
faded, isn't it?
swatches?
Yeah, this. I mean, I'm due to be colored tomorrow. So,
Okay.
and this is Baco,
Yeah.
the regular Baco.
You're using Baco.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we
If you
did.
did Morass, I would probably go 7-1 or 8-1. I wouldn't go lighter than that. I wouldn't go darker than that.
Okay, so it'll give me the same kind of.
But
That-
it would neutralize that
So
when
I
it
pull,
fades out a
I
little
pull
bit.
so much warmth.
Yeah, he's reddish.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's such a argumentative statement when it comes to gray hair,
Mhm.
and it's like I don't know. It's all in the formulation, Cut back on your natural.
Well, we tried going.
Increase
We
your
went
ash.
straight.
Straight
we went
ash.
straight ash before with
Okay.
another brand, and then it was like we couldn't get coverage.
Right.
And then it was, I don't know, it was just weird looking. It just didn't. So that's why we've been playing with mixing the ash and the neutrals, and this was the best we've gotten.
Okay.
So when
Were
we
you doing
first did it, it looked
0-1
great.
or 1-0?
I think we did. Well, first off, we did a 0-0 as
Double zero.
as the natural because that's all
Right.
we had.
Right.
That salon didn't even have a Route 6-0.
Right.
And then we did the ash. I think it was I want to say you did 7.
Okay. But you probably did a 0-1.
How's that clear?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah,
so
yeah, because we didn't have the 1-0, so
We didn't have,
Yeah.
because the 0.10 smears the 0.1. I
Right.
mean, it's like so ash. It just knocks everything out. So.
Well, that's what we're gonna try tomorrow, because we
Okay.
already ordered it, so.
Okay. Always know, and I'm sure it's very similar to Kuhn. You have point, number. Okay. So the first number after the point is 2/3, right? Okay. Second number 1/3. All right. And if it's only one number, it's strong. So, that's the difference. Like if you look at Baco, our violets are 2-0. So even though it's 2/3 violet, it's got a third of natural in there. So when you see the violets from Maress, it's pure violet. There's no natural in there. And although you explain that, it's kind of hard to it doesn't click sometimes. So I get that text message a lot. It's like it's so vibrant, because there's no natural in it. You got to put a little natural depending on where you want to be. If I wanted to do a beautiful violet chocolate, I would do 585. I would do 2/3 585, and I would do 1/3 7-2 with a little bit of 5-0. But that violet in the 7, the reason I wouldn't use a 5-2 is because it's gonna help show through more on that 585 and be gorgeous. Violet chocolate. I love it.
You wanna go over the Baco just real briefly, just to show the difference?
Yeah.
Because it's just like a one-stop shop. Because I know you guys have 2 other brands that are coming in, or you'll have 2 other brands, but in
Well, they're
relation
gonna have
to your.
what else you gonna carry?
We're thinking,
We're trying out stuff, and
Well, you need to try
so
this.
we have and used to do it.
Oh, used to do it?
Yeah, we have like
we
a
have
couple
a couple
tubes
tubes
left,
back there.
but
You didn't like it. Why?
that's you.
What
Dante
happened?
would have to answer that question for you.
Was he using 10 or 20 volume to cover gray?
I have
That's the one that we have back there?
we have some tubes in the drawer, and there's a book back there.
And you never had a class on it.
I never seen
So.
this.
Yeah, no, I don't think we
He
ever
likes
took
the
a class.
reds though. He
Yeah.
does like the reds and that.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, but it's all fantastic. It's all based on hydrolyzed silk technology. So hydrolyzed silk being the closest thing biologically to the keratin of your own hair. All right. So it's extremely conditioning. It's less than 3% ammonia from the high lift all the way to 1. Okay. So with Baco, it is 10 volume gray coverage. Silver, white, hair, 10 volume, and this is 1 to 1.5. Okay, so if you use 20 volume, which was happening when when it was getting introduced and people bring it on, and no matter how much you say 10 volume, 10 volume, 10 volume, they were like, no, it's got to be 20 volume.
That might be where he didn't like
But I would get a phone call, well, it's not covering, it's translucent, it's this, it's that. It's because you're using 20 volume. You got to use 10, it's calibrated for 10 volume gray coverage. You only use 20 volume when you need 1 to 2 levels of lift,
Pop color.
pop of color, but if you're covering gray, then you got to use 10 volume. All
Well,
right?
we never took a class on it, so that's probably why we
That-
wasn't using it
And
right.
I'll tell you what, this is a kick-ass color, because I've been selling it for the last 2 years now. And I've got salons that say, just like he said, where has this color been all this time? And
Because
still
it's-
nobody knows who they really are. But
This is how it all got started. So this is the technology behind it. It's actual silk from silkworms. It's very conditioning to the hair, hardly fades at all. I would say virtually no fading. However, then we get into how porous is the hair, what are the porosity issues. But my clients, after 2 years, over 2 years, my clients have grown out enough that we're beyond those issues, and their hair does not fade. Does not fade. It is vibrant, shiny, beautiful, beautiful hair. And it's a 3.5 ounce tube.
And I wished, well, when we were at that show, that he would have asked, how many people in here use Baco? Because you could have seen the people in there that were using it and talked to them. But I have people that traveled from all the way from Georgia.
Yes.
And she bought it sight unseen over the phone, and they've been using
sorry.
it ever since. They love it. So it's the best color they've ever used. And then since then, I've had other people in that same area buy it because they heard it from a customer, and they started trying it, and they love it.
I mean, on a business standpoint, you know, it's $5.75 for a 3.5 ounce tube. I mean, that's just
And that's not
crazy.
even
And it's
that's not even
one
worth
and a
even
half.
talking about. I mean, it.
Yeah.
I don't even like to approach it that way because people think it's a
no.
cheap
But where
color,
I was
and
going
it's
with
not.
that is for the quality
Right.
that you're getting, it's ridiculous. So when you think about less than 3% ammonia, hydrolyzed silk, conditioning, no fadage, gray coverage, 10 volume, and all that for $5.75 for a 3.5 ounce tube, a 1 part color, 1.5 part developer formulation. So really you think about, as a hairstylist, you think, well, if I can do a color retouch in 2.5 ounces, I don't know what that is in cc. Right, here we go again. But if you can, but I say, okay, I do a 2.5 ounce. That's what I allot in my pricing. Then I'm getting 3 color applications out of 1 tube of color. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
You know what this reminds me of, this color? When I first started selling this was my, if Brazilian Blowout could have a color line, this would be the closest thing to its whole identity.
Yeah.
The keratin that's in this has hydrolyzed silk. This goes into the hair and actually makes the hair silkier and smoother. Frizz-free, more frizz-free than a regular color does. I've actually had people tell me that I didn't even tell them that in the very beginning. We found that out through just using it.
Right. I mean, hydrolyzed silk, it's silk from silkworms. It has the closest affinity to the natural keratin of your hair. So your hair, just like in a Brazilian blowout or a coppola straightener or whatever, right? In this keratin straighteners, you know, your hair wants that keratin. It wants it, wants it, wants it. And then what's around that keratin that performs its function? Well, for us, it's, you know, color. That's the function that's performed. Brazilian blowout, it's the straightening aspect, it's the motion, it's how it's all designed. But the keratin itself, your hair needing keratin, and in Baco it's hydrolyzed silk, just makes the hair healthier, stronger, shinier, seals the cuticle. It's fantastic. So I hate to hear that he didn't.
Well, he's already had this other line, but he just never had the education.
You know,
it was
I
a
would
different time at that time too.
Yeah, I would revisit it, quite honestly. I mean, I don't know. I guess I thought you were bringing Maress like on, because I was like, wow, that's, you know, I know how much Maress is, so I thought, wow, you know, good for you guys that you're going to use Maress on everybody. So you're going to use this as your PPD ammonia-free option.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. All right, I got you. Fantastic. But you're looking for your main color line.
Right.
Revisit the Baco, and I wish he was here so him and I could like talk about it, but
He might have been using 20 instead of 10.
I have a feeling that that's what he was doing. So he wasn't seeing the opaque, you know, dense coverage, and because it's not calibrated that way. To where with Maress, you know, it's calibrated for 20 volume. Okay. But you guys will have my card. I'll leave a card for him, and if he wants to talk to me a little more about it,
Okay.
and then he could do like another small intro, and you guys, you know, whatever.
Yeah, we'll talk with him.
And we'll talk and go from there, because it's fantastic. And what a great compliment to Maress, you know. So or should I say Maress is a fantastic compliment to Baco, as Baco being your main color line. All right. Are we good? Yeah?
So, that's fixed.
so.